Are you afraid to take a chance on your dreams? Do you fear trying new things in case they don't work out? Are you afraid to take a risk in case you fail? Oftentimes we let fear get in our way. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid to follow our truth. But when it is in alignment with our soul, when it's our divine purpose, when we feel that calling, there is no failure. There's only success on our purpose path. So we have to trust the process, and we have to trust that our journey is divinely protected. So, are you ready to win? Because the only way you can fail is if you don't try. So let's all win together by actually taking that leap. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialize in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. We often let fear stop us from trying anything, really. We're afraid to take risks. We're afraid to jump out of our comfort zone. We think that, we'll stay here, it's safe, it's comfortable. But it's not. And it's preventing you from discovering the best parts of yourself. And it's preventing you from living your best life. And this is what we have to remember. I know our whole lives we've been living in this fear-based energy. Fear, lack, this poverty consciousness. And we're just afraid to jump, we're afraid to reach for the stars. We're afraid to take a leap of faith. We're afraid to do anything that's different, that goes against the grain. That's it. We're afraid to do anything that, other people haven't done. And this is our fear of failure. But sometimes it's a fear of success as well. But it's a fear of the unknown. We just don't know where we're going. The path isn't paved. But that path is divinely guided. And this is it. There are no wrong moves on your purpose path. There aren't. And if you might, of course you hit obstacles. We all hit obstacles. But obstacles are stepping stones. And when we're on the matrix path, when we're on the conditioned path, when we're on that old reality, we are afraid that, it's not going to work out. We're afraid we'll fail. We're afraid of what people will think as well. So we don't even try. And that's what it is. The only failure is in not trying. And that's where, and oftentimes when we're on that path as well, we'll hit a bump in the road. And we think, oh my God, I can't do this, and freak out. So we just stop. We just give up. That's what we do. Whereas on the purpose path, it's a calling. It's guided. It mightn't be visibly guided, but it's divinely guided. This path that we were on, you can see the way forward because so many people have fucking walked it before. Whereas with the new path, it's invisible, but it is protected. And guess what? If you take a step, the path will appear in front of you. And that is the beauty of it. Every step will reveal more of your path. We need to trust in that process. And trust that every obstacle is a stepping stone. And this is the thing, we're afraid. One thing that we fear is, are we doing it right? Is it perfect? Oh my God. Oftentimes we don't even start because we need it to be a certain way. It doesn't need to be perfect. Start messy. Start real. And that's the beauty of it. When you start messy, when you you start authentically. And that's the beauty of it. Because if we're overthinking something, we're over planning it, wanting it to be this perfect little way, it's never going to be perfect. So that's going to lead us to delay. And anyway, even if we over plan something, isn't it kind of inauthentic? Not necessarily, you can plan it through your authenticity. But I just find, for me personally anyway, when you go with the flow, when you just go with what you feel, it just works out. It just works out. And that's the beauty of it. We keep asking ourselves, and I ask myself this all the time. It's like, am I doing the right thing? And I'll be guided to do something new on the same kind of project. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. It's not working out. I'll stop. But I was guided to do that. And that's where I come back to trusting, is because I'm like, when I get an idea for something on my purpose path, that's a guidance. That's a calling. And it's literally pulling me forward. So I listen to that intuition and I listen to that guidance and I go for it. And it works, you know, and that's one of the scariest things about or going through your authenticity or going through your authentic path or your purpose path. It's so scary. It's so fucking scary because we're like, oh my God, what am I going to do it wrong? Or I've never done this before, so how am I ever going to be good at it? But the only way you're going to get good at something is if you practice it anyway. Or, you know, if you just repetition will get you there. But one thing I truly believe is if it sets your soul on fire, you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like when I started sharing content, it was so scary for me. Oh my God. Oh, I was so scared of the camera. Oh my God, it was petrified. You know what I mean? Like, it took me a long time to actually enjoy taking photos of myself, you know, but when it came to videos, it was like, oh my God, don't look at me. I can't do this. I just hated the sound of my voice. I hated how I looked. I hated all of it. It was so fucking scary. And, you know, I started sharing content and, you know, it was a very, very slow thing. You know, it was slow to get views. It was slow and everything. And it's just, oftentimes I'd be like, oh my God, you know, this is failure. Like, I was like, oh my God, it's not working out. I should just give up. But I was like, I'm starting to enjoy it. You know, after I overcame the fear, after I gained confidence, I fucking love doing videos. I could wake up in the grumpiest mood. And I'm actually I'm a pretty happy morning person. But there is times that I wake up and I'm not in a great form. And oftentimes when I'm not in great form, or previously when I wasn't in great form, I wouldn't want to do anything. I'd want to just have a lazy day. But one thing I found is that if I was having a little bit of a grumpy morning and I recorded a video, I would be on cloud nine. I'd be buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I swear. Like after doing, like you'll see me in some of my videos, I get really weird and just like hyperactive or giddy. And that's because I really enjoy sharing content. You know, I really do. And like, you know, the way I see it is, it doesn't matter if I'm only helping one person. That's important. The most important thing is to help one person at least. But the way I see it is, if it's making me this happy, it has to be that I'm supposed to do it. And that's the thing. So no matter what way I wake up in the morning, if I'm unmotivated in the morning, and there is some mornings I'm like, oh God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do today. You know, we're all the same, like, you know what I mean? But like, you know, and I had to do a video. I say, look, the only thing I know is going to get me out of this mood is if I do a video. And I do a video and I'm like, yes, buzzing. And then the rest of the day is perfect. So that's the way I see it. If you enjoy it, it means you have to do it. It really does. And then I started tweaking my, you know, I'm starting to get a bit more creative lately, and I started, you know, doing thumbnails and stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, I shouldn't be doing this. This is, you know, the restrictions were coming in again. It was like, oh, this is so scary. You know, and it's the simple thing of just doing a thumbnail, you know what I mean? But I had restrictions around it. I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't do this. Maybe I'll go back to the old way. And that's another thing. It's like, when we try something new and it's so scary, and it's like, I go back to the old way. It's easier, you know, I freak out. But now I actually love doing it, and I'm loving that creative side of myself again, because I pushed through. And that's what I kept saying to myself. No matter the results, if you're enjoying it, why would you stop? Why? You know what I mean? And that's the thing, you know, we are all on our own path. We're all on our own journey. So it's not going to be the same speed for everyone. And I think sometimes that's what gets us, sets us back a little bit. We compare ourselves to others, and that's what it is. It's like, oh, checking somebody else's progress, and you're like, oh my God, maybe I'm doing it wrong, or maybe I should do it like them. And it's just like, no, do it the way you feel good about doing it. That's it. You know, what are you called to do? And this is another thing, right? We're after manifesting our highest timeline. We're jumping into a new earth, okay? That's inevitable. But we're manifesting our highest timeline. As we awaken and as we grow and as we heal, we're manifesting the life that we deserve. Not the life that we were in that we thought we deserved, that we thought we belonged in. We're manifesting the life we truly deserve. And we're manifesting a life of fulfillment, love, prosperity, abundance. Okay, so when you're in that daydream energy and imagining what you want for your future, that's what you're going to get. That's it. If you believe it, feel gratitude as if it's all yours, you can achieve that. So there is no failure. And that's one thing I have to keep coming back to, is we cannot fail. There's no failure. The only failure is in not trying. And that's what I keep saying to myself, is like, just keep going. And, you know, that's another thing. We're, as I said, we tend to, if we hit an obstacle or a block, or, you know, things are a little bit slow, we're like, nah, maybe this isn't right. Maybe it's not working out. Maybe it's not for me. And these are your tests. That's what they are, your little tests. Your tests of whether or not you're going to keep going. And I remember at the very start of sharing content, I was being tested over and over. Actually, I'm still being tested a lot, to be honest with you. I'm getting tested all the time because I'm still going through some emotional blocks myself. My fear, I'm still human. I'm still going through my blocks. I'm still going through that resistance. And, I have to push through it. And I do question it all the time. It's like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And I'm like, no, come back to this. If it sets your soul on fire, yes, you're supposed to be doing it. And that's it. That is really it. And that's the whole objective of this new Earth timeline, is we're not supposed to be miserable. We're not supposed to live in lack. We're not supposed to work a miserable existence. We're a miserable job, miserable existence, miserable environments. We're not supposed to be in that. We're supposed to be happy. We're actually supposed to do a job that makes us happy. I swear, I promise. Yeah. And this is it. So if it makes you happy, it means you're supposed to do it. So go after what sets your soul on fire. Go after what makes you happy. And as I said, how can you fail? And the way I see it is, I'm happy if I help one person. Obviously, I want to help the masses. And that's my objective. That's my goal. But I have to take those baby steps as well. Because if I went too fast, I'd go into overwhelm. So I used to be a very fast-paced person. Really, really fast-paced. It's like learned behavior. It was like run instead of walk. It was like if I was in my jobs, and I used to work manual factory jobs, I'd be fucking bulling. I'd be fucking head down. I'd be doing the work. I'd be, really, really hard at it. I'd be racing around the place. Do you know what I mean? I'd never, ever stop. I just had a fast-paced energy. Walking down the street, I'd be fucking running down the street. Do you know what I mean? And then I nearly I did twist my ankle when I was in that fast-paced energy. And I was like, I have to take a step back here. It was the universe telling me to slow down. So I've gone from being really busy into literally taking every step one at a time. I'm a slow and steady wins the race kind of person. Farmer time. I don't even look at the clock. That kind of way. It's like literally just go with the flow. And that's what works for me. And I know my process or my path might be a little bit slower than what others are, but I know it's what is right for me. It's unconventional, but it's right for me. So what is right for you? What feels good for you? What makes you motivated? That's the thing, oftentimes when we're in that transition phase between what was and what would be, we have lost motivation for certain passions or projects. And because of that, we hold this kind of fear-based energy. It's like, will I ever get this passion back? Will I ever get this motivation back? And there is some projects that are left on the side and you're like, oh my God, am I ever going to go back to these projects? But that trepidation around those projects means that those projects aren't for right now. So you can't force yourself into doing something that isn't right for this moment. So go after the things that are easy. Go after the things that you can enjoy right now. Because that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to sit there miserable, trying to force yourself to do something that doesn't feel right in the moment. You're supposed to feel happy and you're supposed to go into that flow state. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about this flow state, is it just naturally and authentically comes out of you. When I started doing videos, I'd have lists of stuff that I want to talk about. Sometimes I get downloads and sometimes, I kind of pre-prepare in my mind before I start. And lately it's funny. Every morning I do this. Lately now I'm doing these downloaded videos. Every week I get 4 or 5, five or plus kind of downloads to do. And I was like, this is the energy of the moment. I'm going to do this. But every morning, normally in the mornings I'd be rehearsing in my head, but lately it's just blank. My mind is blank and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do a video? I don't know what I'm going to say. And I'm in front of the camera going, oh no, I don't know what's going to happen. But lately it just flows out of me. I'm literally it's not pre-rehearsed. Everything I say these days is literally just flow state. I've no script and I've never had a script, but I always had that pre-rehearsal in my head. So I was kind of prepared. Whereas now I'm kind of standing here going, what am I going to say today? Energy. I have a title, but I have nothing else to go by. But it's flow state. It's natural and it feels good. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to feel good. So if it's working out for you in that sense, go for it. And you see, don't let fear get in the way, because as I said, there is no failure. There might be obstacles, there might be stepping. You see, I don't see obstacles as obstacles anymore. They're stepping stones. You know, anytime anything might be slow or what you might see as a block, that's a lesson to be learned. You know, if I have some issues around certain things, I'm like, right, what do I need to learn from this? What am I doing to stand in my own way? And that's all these are. And every obstacle on your purpose path is literally like, oh, that's a nice lesson. What does Tony Robbins call your obstacles a worthy opponent. You know, it makes you stronger. It's like, what can I learn from you? What can I do with you to make me better? And that's what we do with these obstacles. And I don't like calling them obstacles. They're lessons. They're fucking lessons. But don't let them set you back. You know, we often say, like, you know, if it's delayed or if I'm detoured or this, that, the other, it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. But I keep coming back to this. If you're enjoying it, you're supposed to fucking do it. You know what I mean? It really, 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 really is the fact that you should be enjoying yourself. If it's a struggle, if it's painful, if it's hard, if it's giving you that feeling of uneasiness, I don't think you're supposed to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you're going into, if you're in a relationship or in a friendship or a work dynamic that is really fucking you up mentally and physically, because obviously your mental health is going to affect your physical health, it means you shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? And I spoke about this before, like, you know, every job you'd go into, like every job I had was a narcissistic boss. There's a lesson there. Every relationship I had was a narcissistic person, you know? So like, it's literally like, you know, there's a lesson there. You need to heal something to stop repeating those cycles. And when it comes to jobs, and, you know, I had one of my subscribers comment, you know, and he used to get back issues with all the jobs. And he finally understood that he wasn't supposed to do those jobs. And he went on to his purpose path. You know what I mean? So if something is out of alignment, you're going to get warning signs. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be painful. You're going to have issues, whether mental or physical. And that is a clear sign this is not for you. But if it sets your soul on fire, if it makes you happy, if it fills you with pure joy, if it really, really does make you excited, then you're supposed to do it. And it is going to work out. Because what is beautiful about this purpose path as well, you're not on your own. You have a massive team. Like, you know, we think, oh my God, I'm doing it on my own, I'm so scared. But you have a huge team behind you, and an angel team, a spirit team, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. That is all behind you. So you take one step forward. Even if you set an intention to step forward, the universe is going to open up the doors where there was only walls. You know what I mean? Like, literally, you take one, like, it's not even taking a step. If you make a decision and say, this is what I'm going to do, the universe will open up those doors. If you take one tiny little baby step, the universe will take a giant step for you. So literally, even just pushing forward a little bit, you're going to actually propel yourself forward so much. So it is all, like, literally, and as I said, that first step will open up that path. That's a fact. But we're so afraid to take that first step because we are afraid of failure. We're afraid it's not going to work out. We're afraid, and that's down to the heart chakra again. It's definitely down to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the biggest one when it comes to anything in our lives. If our heart is blocked, we're going to block that energy anyway. But it's because we're afraid to get hurt. We've been hurt so much in the past, we're afraid, oh my God, if this fails, I'm going to be in pain again. But you cannot fail at your purpose path. You just can't, like. You really can't unless you don't try. I'll keep repeating that again and again and again until you get sick of it. Like, literally, you cannot fail unless you don't try. Did I say that right? Sometimes English doesn't work for me all the time. Anyway, but like, yeah, you can only fail if you don't try. Okay? So this is an inevitably successful. Yeah, this path is inevitable. You are going to be successful no matter what once you keep going. And that's it. Persistence is key because you will be tested. You will be tested along the way so many times. You know what I mean? And it's not to dishearten you or set you back. It is literally to make you stronger. It's asking you Do you really want this? I've said this before. You know, the universe will bring in a little bit of a taster of what you want, and you're like, ooh, yummy. And then you get it, and then they take it away for a minute, and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then you really go into panic, kind of going, shit, I neglected that for a minute, and now I fucking have nearly lost it. Then you do everything in your power to gain it again. And that's what these tests are for. They're literally saying to you, hey, do you really want this, or do you want to go back to your old life? That's what the test is. And, you know, we are tested over and over again to ask ourselves, are you going to push forward through this scariness, or are you going to revert back to your old ways and go back to your comfort zone and not even try? As I said, the only way we fail is if we don't try. So trust the process and trust that you can only win on your purpose path. This is your destined reality. This is your calling. And this is divinely protected. So you cannot fail, and you will not fail once you keep going. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.